Why do you got a video camera, son?
Because I'm documenting what I do, because people like to say things happened that didn't happen. And I'm not willing to go arrested because somebody
Cameras
made
right
something
there.
up. Yeah, those cameras disappear all the time. Mine doesn't.
Do they?
Yeah, sure.
Uh-huh.
That stuff disappears all the
How's
time.
it going?
It's going well. How are you?
Hey, I'm Sergeant Schmidt.
Sergeant Smith, badge number 203?
Yeah.
Pleasure to meet you, sir. How's it going, guys? Amagansett Press. We are coming to you today from Douglas, Wyoming. We are at the Converse County Public Health Department, and we're just going to pay a little visit on these folks today, take a look around, take some video, and find out if they honor and respect our right to take video and photographs in public and from publicly accessible areas of public places. I am out with Watching the Watchman today, and let me see if I can give you a little view of the neighborhood here. Kind of on a back street, so you're not going to see much of the beauty of Wyoming, but this is where we are. And quick time and temperature check for you. Today is Wednesday, October 28th. It is 11:25 a.m. and 41 degrees, and it was just partly sunny, but it's getting sunnier by the minute here in Douglas, Wyoming.
Can I help you?
Oh, hello. How are you?
What? Can I help you?
Oh, we're just taking some video and taking a look at the public health office.
Okay.
How are you today?
We're doing well. Masks are required to be in our building. Do you have any on?
I don't wear a mask now.
Okay, then we won't be able to help.
That's a
you.
request, ma'am. That's not a law. It's a request.
This is a private office, and I have the right to refuse service, and if you can't.
I'm not asking for service.
Okay, but we have customers in here that are of high risk, and if you won't wear a mask, I will have to ask you to leave.
A public building? You just said this is a private building. This is a public building.
This is a public health building that takes appointments to help our community. That is in crisis.
Right, I understand that. We're just taking a quick look around.
Okay, take your quick look and then please exit unless you'll wear a mask inside.
Ma'am, there is no law about wearing a mask. That's a request.
Okay, I'll come
So-
get further ups. Thanks.
That's fine.
Hi, what can I do for you?
Hi, how are you? Good. So my name's Jason. This is my son, Ben.
Hi.
And we're just taking a look at we're first time we've ever been in Douglas, Wyoming, and we're taking a look at your building here.
Okay.
That's all.
We do have to have you guys wear.
Well, the mask thing, I don't wear a mask, so the mask thing is a request. It's your policy. It's not a law. There is no reason I would have to wear one.
We're a healthcare facility, and you can't be in here if you're not going to wear a mask.
You provide health care here?
We do.
You provide health care at the public
Provide
health? You have
healthcare.
doctors here?
That doesn't mean that we don't have a doctor on site. That doesn't mean.
Right, that's what I'm saying. There's no health care. This is a public health building,
We
right?
provide immunizations and testing. You guys need to leave if you're not going to wear a mask.
Can you show me something that says that I have to wear a mask? If you have something that states that I have to wear a mask, I'd be happy to either put one on. Well, that's just something somebody printed on the printer. I'm saying like a order, executive order, a law, a policy.
State health orders right now, you have to wear a facial mask if we request it. So,
State health orders. Do you have a copy of that?
of the state health order?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Great, thank you. I'm not aware. As far as I knew, there was no state health order about wearing a mask. So you'll teach me something today.
We can require that you wear one in our facility. It's actually our state guidelines right now that you can't be in our facility if you don't wear a mask to protect the public.
Surprising in Wyoming.
It's not. As a healthcare facility, we have the responsibility to protect the people that are in here, including our staff.
So, excuse me, it's not all public offices. It's just if you're providing health care, is what you're saying?
For us, from the state mandates, yes.
Okay.
Other public offices.
Yeah, no, I'd love to. If that's the case, I'd love to be educated today and learn that and be able to follow the rules for sure.
I will be happy to provide you with that if you guys will put on a mask while you're talking to me and while you're in my building.
I'll stop talking until you.
Nope. If you're not going to wear a mask, you need to get out.
Well, you just said you were going to print me a copy of the order.
I would be happy to do that.
I'll make you a deal. Print me a copy of the order. I'll take it outside and read it.
Can you go outside while you wait for it, and I will bring it out to you?
Is it going to take you that long to print it? I mean, I'm here. I'm standing here. You said you'd give it to me. I could have been out of here already if you just print it and hand it to me.
The problem is that even you being in here is exposing people.
You're not exposing anybody to anything. I'm not sick.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Asymptomatic transmission is a thing.
So are you a doctor?
I'm a nurse.
You're a nurse. Okay.
You don't have to be a doctor to know that. It's scientific.
Okay.
I need you guys to leave, please. You're creating a disturbance for
Well,
me.
I'm just asking you for I'm not creating a disturbance. Let's not start with that. That's silly. Why don't you just give me a copy of the policy and I'll take it outside and read it?
Outside, and I will bring it to
But then I
you.
can
You're not going to
absolutely give
expose my
you
patients in here.
I'm already in here.
Leave.
And what happens if I don't leave?
Yes.
I will call the police.
No,
Because you've been
I can do it
requested to
all
leave.
via
Okay,
email
that's
or
your
fax.
option. You can call them if you like. Or you could just simply give me a copy of the policy and I'd be happy to take a look at it outside.
I told you that I would
It's-
give it to
ma'am-
you if you go outside.
Ma'am, it's your option, whatever you want to do.
Go outside and I will bring it to you.
I would prefer to just have it handed to me and leave.
No. It's going to take me a minute to find it,
Okay.
so I need you to step outside until I can bring it to you.
Well, until I am aware of something that requires me to step outside, why would I do that?
I am telling you that right now.
All right, well, that's, things are very subjective.
Heidi is ready for you, sweetheart. You can go with her.
Oh, there you are.
How
are you today? Well, what did they do with my curtains? Totally.
Hey, viewer, it's Darcy at Public Health. Hey, I have two gentlemen in my lobby. They're refusing to leave even though I asked them to, and I will provide them the information they want as long as they step outside, but they're refusing to wear a mask. We've asked them to leave and they're refusing. Yep, they're in here filming. They've requested some information and I'm happy to provide it, but I asked them to step outside while I am able to get it, and they have refused. $255 North Russell. One is wearing a flannel vest, plaid, kind of has a red beard, wearing a brown hat. The other one is wearing a Wyoming Gun Company black sweatshirt and a still kind of beanie with the ear flaps. Yep, red tint. He's wearing a black sweatshirt that says Wyoming Gun Company and wearing a hat that has the Still brand on it, like chainsaw. And they're filming us, so just, you might let your officer know that. I think because I told them to leave, so they're deciding to film it. They came in here filming it, so. Thank you. Bye.
So you have an officer on the way?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So in an effort to not create a disturbance in here with the officer and create a problem for your clients, we'll wait for him and we'll discuss it with him, and then we'll come back in and get your policy.
You won't come back in without a mask. I will
Okay,
bring
well,
it
we'll
up.
discuss that with the officer since you've handed it off to him.
That's fine.
Okay, thank you. And what was your name?
Darcy.
Darcy, are you a manager here?
Yep,
or
I'm the
Okay,
nurse manager's
supervisor?
office.
Nurse, okay, very good. See you shortly. All right, guys, so Douglas Police on the way, and we'll have the conversation with them and see how that goes. Oh, this might be our gentleman right here. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Doing well.
What's that?
I said doing well.
Good.
Yeah, how are you today?
Good. Doing
Good. Snow went away, sun came out. How can you complain, right?
Beautiful.
Yeah, so we're doing a little story on a couple of the municipal buildings here in town.
Okay.
And went inside to ask some questions about the public health building.
Okay.
And we were asked to put masks on. And as far as I'm aware, there is no mask mandate in the state of Wyoming, unless I'm wrong. And I said to the young lady, if I am wrong, which has happened once or twice in life, I'd be happy to be educated today. If you give me a copy of the policy, I'd be happy to take a look at it. And if that's what it says, we'll either put the mask on or leave. So she said, be happy to print out the policy for you. She started doing that. And then in the middle of that, just looked at me and said, no, you know what? If you don't want to put the mask on, I'm just going to call the police.
Okay.
So here you are.
Well, I just happen to be at another building.
Can I just ask name and badge number so I know who I'm talking to?
Can I have some ID?
First of all, I asked you first.
Okay.
Right, so you can respond with your name and badge number.
I'm Officer Kelly.
Officer Kelly, what's your badge number, Officer Kelly?
It's 206.
206. Thank you very much I
What's up
appreciate
with the
that, sir.
camera?
We're just documenting what we do.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys have
Yeah,
some
do you
ID
have
with
do
you?
you have a body camera?
Nope. I don't.
You should, right?
Probably.
Yeah. And of course I have ID with me, but is there any reason you would be asking me for ID?
So we got called here, the dispatch, because they hit the panic alarm.
They hit the panic alarm?
Yeah.
Because two guys went in with cameras?
I guess.
Well,
So that's what I was just.
is
trying
that
to
against the
figure
law?
out. No.
Okay.
Apparently, they've got some kind of perception of what happened over there.
No,
So
perceptions
we're over here.
perceptions are perceptions. I agree with you.
Well, I'm not going to disagree with that.
Yeah. But no, I mean, if I value my privacy and my Fourth Amendment, so if I haven't violated a law and I have no lawful obligation to give you ID, why would I do that?
And then that's totally your.
And I'm not trying to give you a hard time.
Okay.
I want to be very civil with you and have a,
But I understand we got called here for a call for service. Okay, so we're.
well, anybody can call you for anything. I could call up and say somebody's,
It's true.
anybody could make anything up. We went in and we were told that there's a state mandate that we have to wear a mask. As far as I'm concerned, there is no state mandate. So I actually, word for word, what I said to the young lady was I'd love to be educated today. If there is something that requires me to wear a mask,
Sure.
just show it to me. I'll either leave or put the mask on.
Sure.
So that was the whole conversation.
Let me talk to my dispatcher real quick.
Sure.
Because they hit the panic alarm on me.
Well, they got to take it easy on the panic alarm. No reason for that.
Dispatch 206. I'm out with 2 subjects. We don't need a code response, but if I can get a couple units over here. And then
I'm behaving the same way with you that I was behaving with them, and you're not hitting a panic alarm.
Sure.
So
Well, and I don't know. We need to visit with them and kind of get their.
yeah, you want to go in and ask them?
Well, when my partner gets here, we'll
Okay. Sure.
we'll go over and visit with them. Yeah,
Absolutely.
There's always your side, their side, and somewhere in the middle is kind of
Is the
deal
objective witness camera that never lies.
breaker. Yeah.
That's which is why we film. Because if we did these things without the benefit of recording what we do, then it would be my word against their word.
So
Right now
are you
it's-
guys with a group?
I'm not with a group, no.
You're just private citizens.
Well, you know what? Right now, what I'm doing is I'm working on a story,
Okay.
so I can't tip my my hand, and it would give me issues here. So
Hey, Rude, hold on just a sec.
when we're done, I'd be happy to explain to you what I'm doing.
Okay.
Once we see how you handle the situation and how you proceed,
I'm going to visit with my partner, and you guys can stay over here, okay?
you're going to visit with you. Sure, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So we have vehicle 229, vehicle 223, Douglas Police. They hit the panic alarm. Outrageous.
Hey, Lucas. Yeah, yeah. Gentlemen, I gotta go back to my meeting.
Okay.
This is Officer Dowd.
Okay.
To visit with you.
All right, very good. Thank you very much. Appreciate your professionalism and
Thank you.
courtesy. Thank you. How are you?
All right. So we kinda
Officer
told you what's going on.
Dowd? Okay.
Luca.
Badge number 208.
Yes.
Pleasure to meet you, sir. My
You
name
as
is
well.
Jason. This is my son, Ben.
Jason, Ben.
Yep.
Alrighty. We local here? I think I've seen you before.
No.
No?
Nope.
All
First
right.
time we've ever been in Douglas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where are we?
So I explained the whole situation. Did he explain it to you, what we're doing?
But for the most part.
We went in. She said that we had to wear a mask. As far as I'm aware, there is no mandate to wear a mask in the state of Wyoming. I could be incorrect about that, and I told her I might be incorrect about that. And I said, is there a policy I could take a look at, or an executive order, or a law? And she said, yeah, I'd be happy to print it for you. And I said, great. And if it says that I do need to wear a mask, I'll either put one on or leave. So she started looking up the policy, and then all of a sudden just decided, no, you know what? If you guys aren't going to leave, I'm just going to call the police.
Okay.
So I said, well, that's your option. You can either, I said, I would prefer that you just give me a copy of the policy. I said, I'll even go outside and read it and take a look at it and see what it
Right.
says. Or if you want to call the police, you can do it. I said, but I would prefer you just give me the policy and I'll go out and read it. She said, no, I'm going to call. So she called you, and here we are.
Alrighty. And here
Yeah.
we are now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, most of the places it's just a policy. But if some place does have a policy, you have to abide by it.
Well, no, if it's a policy, I actually don't have to abide by it. Policy is for employees. They signed that contract. I didn't.
Voices in my head.
Okay. So, I mean, am I correct? There is no state order about a mask, correct? As far as you're aware?
Got it. All right. So a business has the right to refuse service to anyone.
Well, this is not a business. This is a public entity.
It is.
Right.
So the governor, when this initially came out,
Right.
there is a statute that pretty much says we can enforce whatever the governor says. It's
Okay.
kind of a catch-all made for public health.
Oh, if there's an
Right,
executive
crisis.
order, you could certainly enforce that.
Yes.
Absolutely. So is there an executive order regarding the mask?
This is all so mixed up with the masks right now. I don't want to get into mask stuff.
This is the reason we're here today. And I said to the other officer, I'll tell you what we're doing after we're done, but we're here for a reason.
Okay.
Yeah, and there's we're trying to find out how you handle it, how they handle it, and what the situation is, based on what the law is and what the...
Right, and I can tell you, for the most part, we are not enforcing people wearing masks.
Okay,
But if a business wants you to put a mask on or leave,
right.
that's their policy, and they can refuse service to anyone they want.
A private business.
Yes,
A public
a private
business cannot. Yeah, right.
Right.
Right. So we're on the same page.
Yes.
Oh, okay. How are you, Officer Toman?
Yes.
I just want to make sure I'm pronouncing it correctly. Badge
Okay.
212?
Yes.
Nice to meet you, sir.
What's your name, sir?
I'll give you my first name. First name's Jason.
Jason?
Yep.
Okay, Jason. So, what's going on today?
This is the third time I'm explaining it. Maybe Officer Dowd can explain it to you. I'm getting dry. I don't have any water with me.
Okay.
They're filling for a project.
Basically what we're doing is we're here to find out how you're going to react to this situation. My understanding is, okay, and this I hope I don't have to explain this. You don't have anybody else coming, do you? If you have somebody else coming, I'll wait until they get here just to say it one last time.
Town here.
So and you could smile, Officer Tolman. We're not here to cause you any. There's no nefarious intent. We're not here to cause you any problems. So we went inside. We're filming, and they asked us to put a mask on, and I said I don't wear a mask, and she said, well, that's the law. You have to wear a mask in here. And I said, as far as I'm aware, Wyoming does not have a state mandate about wearing a mask. And she said that if we didn't put a mask on, we had to leave. So I said to her, is there a policy or something you could show me that would indicate that I do need to wear a mask? Because if that's the case, then I'll either put the mask on or leave. And she said, yeah, I'll print it for you, no problem. So she started doing something on the computer. She was going to print it for me, and then decided that she would rather call the police.
Okay.
She just stopped and said, you know what, if you guys don't leave, I'm going to call the police. I'm not going to print this up for you. I said, if you're going to call the police, I'll go outside and wait for them. That's not a problem. But I would rather you just print the policy. I'll even take it outside and read it and look at it. And if you're correct, you're correct. I'd love to be educated today. And if that's not the case, then that's not the case.
Okay.
So now that you're here, we're just interested in finding out how law enforcement handles the situation and what the actual, we want to know what the law is, and we want to know what the rules are and stick by them. But it seems like there's a very gray area, muddy water situation going on here. So we just want to get to the bottom of it and figure out what the rules are.
Okay. So, we're speaking with public health, okay? They request that people who come into public health wear masks. Okay.
Which is exactly right. That's a request.
Yep.
Right.
And understand though, okay, if you as private citizens do not abide by their rules, they do have the ability to tell you to leave. Okay? And so
I'm not sure about that, but okay.
Okay. So
So it depends, and I'm just to take that a step further. It depends on the rules. Now, if it's a rule that somebody just made up here that works here and just decided to put a sign on the door, then that's not the case. If there is something, an executive order or an executive policy or something written into law or statute that states that, then that would be the case. So that's what we're trying to figure out. Did the supervisor just decide to put something on the door that says mask required, or is that backed by Wyoming
understand,
policy,
okay?
procedure, and statute?
So, by Wyoming statute, okay, if the business tells you to leave, okay, and you don't, that is trespass.
That's only if it's a private business. This is a public business, and I would have to commit a crime on public property to be trespassed. You can't trespass me unless I commit a crime
Okay.
from public property.
So, like
Is that correct?
In speaking with them, they said that you needed to leave.
But they have to do that lawfully. They can't just decide they want me to leave. If it's a lawful request, I abide by all lawful requests, 100%. Not a problem. But if it's an unlawful request or there's no lawful basis behind it, I tend not to just do what everybody asks me to do.
Okay.
So that's what I'm trying to figure out. Is it a lawful? Is their request for me to leave a lawful request? Because you keep going back to a business has the right to ask me to leave, and I agree with that. But that would be a private business, not a public government entity.
Okay.
So I'm in there conducting official business, asking for service. She was about to provide that service to me and then changed her mind. So my question is there anything in state law or executive order which prevents me from going in there and asking for service without a mask on? And does she have the right to trespass me if I'm not violating the law?
Well, she is the supervisor for the building, and she does have the rights to tell people you cannot come in. Okay.
I don't. What gives you that basis? Just because you're saying that? What's the underscore there? I'd love to see a copy of this policy. The policy would answer the whole thing.
Okay. Based on that, she is the supervisor for public health. Okay. It's her responsibility for the grounds. Okay.
Yeah, but she has to have lawful reason for what she does. She can't just make up whatever she wants to do based on her feelings that day. That's not how it works. You know that. She has to have a lawful reason to make a lawful request. She can't just decide, I don't like that guy's shirt, you need to leave. That's not the way it works. And I'm not looking to hang around and linger and loiter for no purpose. I'm asking for a copy of the policy. She said she would be willing to give that to me and then changed her mind and decided to call you. Okay. So I would just like to see a copy of the policy. If the policy says I cannot go in, I will absolutely, for the time being, abide by the policy, not go in or put the mask on, one or the other. Okay. And then that's something that gets decided in court, not here on the street. But if she's just deciding to make up policy based on her subjective whim, then I have an issue with that, because then that means, like I said, I could come in tomorrow with a loud colored shirt that she doesn't like and she could ask me to leave because of that.
Okay. She
She has to have a lawful reason to do what she does. Being a supervisor is not an authoritative position in the public realm. Okay. It's a responsibility, and she has a responsibility to the public. Mm-hmm. And if the public is in there for a lawful purpose, acting lawfully, she has no right to ask me to leave. And you know that as well as I do.
Okay.
So I'm not looking to cause any problems.
Yeah.
I just want a copy of the policy. And I don't want to be told I can't do something I can.
Okay.
That's all.
So I could certainly go in there and talk with her, okay, about, the policies that they have, with public health.
Well, I'd like to see a copy. She was willing to print it up for me, and she even said, as we were leaving, I said, I'll go outside and wait for the police officers and discuss it with you and see how that conversation goes. And she said, I said, are you still going to give me a copy of the policy? She said, yes, I'll bring it out to you.
Okay.
So that's all on video, and I believe she has an obligation to provide me with the policy if she's attempting to enforce it.
I could certainly talk with her about it, okay?
Okay.
One of the things that they did ask, though, is that they do not want you on the property, okay?
Well, they don't have that option.
So
until we
at this
decide
point right now, okay?
Are you
I'm just going to ask, right now, let me go in there, let me talk.
All right, but I'm not going to. You would have to formally trespass me for me not to be on the property.
Okay.
That's up to you. If you want to unlawfully trespass me, that's your decision. You would have to violate my rights in order to trespass me.
Okay.
So that's going to be up to you.
So
once I see the policy, if there actually is a policy written that says that I cannot go in there without a mask on, I will adhere to her policy to the letter of the policy.
Okay.
Absolutely
I
no
can certainly
problem.
talk with her.
But I'm not going to just take
Okay.
subjective orders, unlawful orders from people. That's not how the world
Talk
works.
to her
Okay.
about it. Okay.
All right. So like I said, I'm going to stay here on the property until we figure it out. I won't go in as a courtesy, even though I could. I'll wait for you out here. Now, normally, guys, I would follow them back in, but the only issue with that is if I followed them back inside, I could guarantee you it's going to turn into a situation where I'm creating a disturbance. And I don't want to give them a leg to stand on. So we're just going to wait out here and play it smart, and we'll see how it goes. So here's the do not enter if you've been exposed to COVID, you're experiencing any COVID-19 symptoms, including cough or fever over 100 degrees. Face coverings are required to receive services in our facility. There is no statute on here at all. So as I said, I just want to find out if this is something that the supervisor of this building came up with. Nothing has a statute on it. Nothing references an executive order. And that's where we're at. So we'll give it a minute and see what happens here.
What's going on, guys?
How we doing?
All right. Rudy, give you guys any more information?
No.
No?
Nope.
All right. So, if you would like, I can give you all this delightful reading about how we can charge people if we want to.
How we can charge people if we want to.
It's put out by the government,
Okay.
put out by the governor. But there are statutes in place for just pandemics like this to give law enforcement officers the ability to charge.
To charge for what would be the charge?
If you would like to read all of this,
Okay.
I'm willing to give it to you.
Sure, I would absolutely read it. Yeah. But just as, I mean, we're having a conversation here. Do you just want to tell me specifically what this, so there is, what charge for what? For not leaving, for being in there without a mask? What exactly? I mean, I'll read the whole thing, but it's not gonna, I'm not gonna be able to read the whole thing before you leave. So I'm just trying to have the conversation with you.
Are you guys going to go a few more places before you head out of here today?
I don't know. Could be. Depending on what we have here in this paperwork, we'll see. Did she point it out to you?
No, I've read through all this before.
Okay.
All right. If you'd like to go read that statute, 35(1)(240, little a, little I, double I. There you go.
Okay, so what it says is restaurants, food courts, cafes, coffee houses, bars, taverns, brew pubs, breweries, distilleries, whatever else. Special licensees, clubs, cigars, bars, and other places of accommodation offering food, beverages, or alcohol on or may provide services under the. Doesn't say anything about this building.
Look,
Just if you're just trying to like run me off, then just tell me that.
I'm not trying.
But don't come out and tell me there's something in here that's not in here.
If I wanted to run you off, I would have done it already.
No, I don't know about that. I challenge you on that. If you did.
You don't want to do that.
Yeah, sure I do. You don't want to try to run me off without a lawful reason. That wouldn't be good either.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm well. We're having fun.
So no, and I'm really trying to have the conversation with you. I'm trying to get to the truth.
Look.
You just showed me something that you know is not.
really
No. Listen, no, you're not going to bamboozle me. You just tried to show me something.
Bamboozle you?
You just tried to show me something and convert it into something it's not, and it's all on video. So you can laugh and smile all you want.
Hey,
I'm just trying to find out what the law
What you're
is.
trying to do is you're trying to get someone's goat.
Nope, not at all.
That's why you're trying. Why do you got video cameras on?
Because I'm documenting what I do, because people like to say things happened that didn't happen. And I'm not willing to go arrested because somebody
Cameras
made
right
something
there.
up. Yeah, those cameras disappear all the time. Mine doesn't.
Do they?
Yeah, sure.
Uh-huh.
That stuff disappears all the
How's it
time.
going?
It's going well. How are you?
Hey, I'm Sergeant Schmidt.
Sergeant
So,
Smith,
I
badge number
talked to-
203.
Yeah.
Pleasure to meet you, sir.
I talk with the charge nurse in public health.
Okay.
So I don't know if you were, but she wants you back away from the entryway because she doesn't want her customers harassed. I
Well-
don't know if you were or not, but that's her exact word.
I'm not harassing anyone, and
This is for you.
yeah, and what you brought this out to me to show me where it says that I have to wear a mask in this building, and it doesn't say that.
Okay.
There is no order about wearing a mask in a public building. You know that as well as I do.
Yeah, I just went in. You
Right.
didn't see me with the mask
Okay,
on.
so
Right.
your officer Dowd here is trying to tell me that there is.
I never said that.
Yes, you did. It's all. This is why I'm taking video. You walked
they
out and
have
you
a-
said to me
they
that
have a
since
request?
October there is an order which gives you the right to charge people. Is exactly what you said to me, which is false information. Which is why I'm
Any
recording.
establishment-
So who's trying to get who riled up? Who's trying to look for a reaction?
you're getting
yeah.
pretty
yeah,
riled
yeah,
up.
yeah,
Any
Well, I don't
established-
like being lied to, and I don't like being threatened with arrest when it's not
Hey,
lawful.
Talk to me.
Yeah, I'm going to talk
Any-
to you.
any
You can. You're
establishment-
dismissed.
Look, any establishment that posts it, you have to honor it. Or
Not
they
when
can
it's a
tell you to
public
leave.
building, only if it's a private business, sir. I know the
think?
law very well.
You think?
You have no idea who I am and what I know, and I know the law very well.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to be very respectful.
No, and I am too.
That is not a legally enforceable sign. And if I'm wrong, show me where it is legally enforceable and I'll leave.
In Title 25, the same one for mental health, is where they get their authority. They're the ones that can actually put rules to.
It's
you
not
know,
in here.
Title-
This
You
is
read through that. How do you know?
you just showed me the
I
pertinent
showed you one
paragraph.
paragraph out of 10 pages.
Right, and you told me that was the paragraph that was
Right.
pertinent to this situation, and it turned out not to be. What do you mean? It's all on video.
I know.
So you
I
can-
looked it up because I wanted to see what.
There is no requirement to wear a mask in this building, and the only way that I can be trespassed from a public place is if I commit a crime. You cannot trespass somebody from a public place for doing nothing illegal.
Did you walk into DFS earlier with a handgun on?
Did I walk into where?
DFS building down there. Did you have a pistol on your hip?
Sounds like you know whether I did or not. Sounds like you know whether I did or not.
That
Yeah.
was before I came on duty.
Yeah.
So I don't know about.
Well, you know what? Since you know what went on, okay, I walked in. There is no sign on the door that says firearms restricted. Okay, I walked in. The supervisor asked me to leave, and I immediately left and put my firearm back in the car. So yes, that's what happened. Absolutely correct. Yep. You're right. You want to try to charge me with that? Knock yourself out. That's up to you. All I'm telling you, see, now what you're doing is fishing because you can't get anywhere with this, so now you're going after something else. Sarge, let's have a meeting of the minds here and be two reasonable men, okay? There's a purpose for why I'm here. I'm not out here looking to cause trouble.
Okay.
There
Can
is
you
no
tell me your-
nefarious.
Can you tell me your?
Once we are done with this and you have made a decision of how you're handling it, I will tell you everything about what I'm doing.
Okay.
A to Z. Absolutely. But I don't want to compromise your decision making by what I'm doing.
Okay. So I'm going to ask you if you would just move back from the front door, because I think just having two people standing with cameras is intimidating some of their clients. Probably not all.
There were no
but some
clients
of
in the lobby. When I first went in, there was one lady sitting there who was pretty much right away called into the back, and there's no other client in there when I was in there.
Okay.
I'm not looking to cause any clients any problems.
Okay.
I'm not looking to cause the people that work here any problems. I am just looking to exercise my rights and be able to go in there and ask for service that I have a right to ask for without wearing a mask. And there's nothing that gives you the right to enforce a mask rule in this building. If I am wrong, which has happened once or twice in 50 years, I'd be happy to admit that. I'd be happy to be educated today, and I'd be happy to leave this situation knowing more than I do when I got here.
You know, they have right now, they didn't always, but right now they have a very stressful job because they have the job.
So do I, as you can see.
Oh, no, you don't have to be here. Are you getting paid to do this, or are you just here?
Some jobs are not all about pay. You know, some jobs, there are things in this world far more
Let's go
important
back
than money.
to them, because
Okay.
right now, according to testing, they've had a spike in Commerce County. We were pretty low for a while, but they've had a spike. We've actually had our first 3 deaths out of the whole time in the last month. All the 3 deaths came within the last month.
And I'm very sorry to hear
So
that. And
they're falling behind because there's only so many people, and they're the ones that do the tracking history, so they can try to keep people who may have been exposed, quarantined.
Okay.
So anything out of the unusual is going to throw them off their game. And that's why I'm asking you to, if you would just...
Well, I mean, you could put any of us in life in that situation. You're old enough to know that. I mean, any of us could be thrown off our game instantly at any time, any place, anywhere. You know what I mean? So you have to, these days, I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
You got to be an adaptable. You got to be an all-around guy these days, and you have to be able to adapt, and you have to be flexible. You can't be rigid because rigid things snap, right?
Yeah.
So the only thing we're here discussing right now is whether or not they have the authority to A, enforce the mask law here within the building, and B, trespass me from a public place without me having committed a crime.
Can I look at that real quick?
Absolutely.
Otherwise, I'd have
Sure.
to give my book.
Yeah. No, and you know what? And I really do sincerely appreciate you going through the motions and having the conversation with me. And we're looking to figure it out. And this time, the next time this happens, you guys can come here prepared and know exactly what's going on. And you won't have to figure it out. And I said to you when we first started talking, Officer Dowd, that there's a gray area. These are muddy waters. So to figure out what the actual facts and truth are so that you guys can proceed with that and I can proceed with that is good for all of us.
The statute books actually has it. This is...
No,
It's got statutes in there.
Yeah, there. It's if you go to the
it's harder
second,
to read.
go to
The
the
other
second to
one is-
last page, and you'll look at what Officer Dowd here was showing me. And there's nothing that says that I can't. See, the distinction that I'm making here is, if this was a private business, it would be a completely different
Right.
ball game. This is a public building. And the supervisor of the building doesn't make the law. And the supervisor of the building can't just decide that she doesn't like my shirt color and throw me out of the building.
You don't have a shirt collar.
Shirt color.
Oh, color.
Yeah, I'm just saying you can't just use subjective ideas to throw somebody out of a public building. That's not, there has to be a legal basis for that. Now, if I was causing a disturbance, if I was doing something illegal, absolutely, 100%. Taking video is not illegal, and not wearing a mask is not enforceable. And like I said, I would be, if I'm incorrect and you can show me where I'm wrong, I'd be the first one to tell you I was wrong. Thank you for educating me today, and I'll move on with my life. But if that's not the case, I would like you gentlemen to be educated, and I'd like the lady inside to be educated about it. I'd like all of us to figure out the truth.
But this is not...
Do you guys get a lot of crime here in Douglas? You do?
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
You stay busy.
Yeah. I'm just looking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 police cars for this simple little thing.
Well, you caught us on a good week, because normally we only have 2.
Yeah, and you caught me on a good week. I'm not normally this talkative.
Well, good.
That's a joke. I'm from New York originally. I can't shut up. But that's the purpose, to give you a little indication of what we're doing here. That's the purpose of this visit today, is to nail this down and find out what the law is and what it's not. And that's all we're interested in. And I would hope and pray and assume that the great state of Wyoming doesn't have any laws that are unconstitutional. So I'll assume that for the time being.
For the time being.
Do you? Yeah. Maybe this is one of them. If there even is a law. I'm just not aware of a law
I don't
that
know
says...
if it covers a mask. I know it covers anything they impose. That it's not quite.
So all right. So apart from the mask, because this might be a little more cut and dry for you, am I correct in saying that you cannot be trespassed from a public place unless you've committed a crime?
I would say that is not true.
That's not true.
I think if a person causes a disturbance,
Well, that would be committing a crime.
it just depends on.
All right. So let me rephrase that. Can you trespass someone from a public place if they are suspected of committing a crime? I don't believe the answer to that is yes. I think you would. I believe you would have to have a lawful reason to trespass somebody from public
Title
property.
25. Maybe it's out of order because the traffic stuff comes.
I do have the big book in my car.
It's the first paragraph in Title 25. It gives public health their authority and what they can and can't do. Here we go. Title 24. 25 is where, the only reason I know that is because that's where our mental health statute comes from.
Okay.
And so I was reading it and I ran into their stuff. Yeah, I don't think this has... Go for it. This doesn't have... This is a little cheat book and it doesn't...
I'm not going to swear to anything on the mask until we figure out what the actual facts are.
Okay.
I did state it is my belief that there is no mandate, no law, or nothing that would prevent me from going in there without a mask. But the trespassing from public property without committing a crime, I'm going to stand by that. I don't think you guys would have any lawful basis to trespass me. Yeah, no,
I
you
asked
didn't.
you if you just stand back a little bit,
Right.
because I don't know. Not everybody comes in here is for COVID reasons.
Well, when your officer asked me to stay
Sometimes they come in
outside,
to get treated for venereal disease, so they might be embarrassed.
no, they, you know, that's, everybody does what they do.
I don't think public health falls under it.
It does under 25, Title 25. Their authority, so they can put.
No,
in
their
place-
authority for charging, but having to wear a mask, they're nowhere in the mandate.
Yeah, I didn't think I saw it anyway. So yeah, you're
She doesn't have any ability to enforce the mask law, right?
right.
Right. And as far as trespassing me from the building, I would have to break the law in order for you to do that. If I want to go in and ask for service and I'm there for legitimate business purpose, right? You can't trespass me because you don't like the fact that because let's be honest, guys. What it's all coming down to is that I'm carrying a camera in my hand. If I didn't have the camera, there would be no issue.
They might, because I think they only see people by appointment because they're trying.
No,
to
that's
keep
fine, but
numbers
this is
down in their office.
right. But it's a public
Yeah.
building. The office is open, and I am fully within my rights to go in there and ask for information.
Sure.
Right.
From
And
a low angle, you could hold it up a little.
and I'm also
Let me double check.
I'm also fully able to go in there and ask for information without the mask on. Right? I think we've determined that, right? And I'm not looking to hang around. So just what I'm going to do is I'll go back in, okay? I'll ask her if she understands that fact and wants to give me a copy. I don't have a copy of that, so I would.
that's all you.
Well, she was going to give it to me, so I'd like to go in there and
She
ask.
printed this out for you.
Okay, well I'll go in there
bring
and
it.
thank her for it then, and then I'll leave.
Okay.
Okay? Just so I don't get chased out of here for some unlawful reason, and I do what I got to do.
No, if that gets you out of here and makes her feel better, so they can get back to doing what they're.
I mean, I'd like you to also inform her that there is no, she can't just demand people wear, she can ask. It's a request. Now, if somebody requested me to wear the mask, I would probably put it on because I'm a decent human being. But when I'm being told it's a lawful thing, then that opens up a whole different situation.
Okay. Is that what she told you?
She told me that as the public health supervising nurse of the public health office, she has the right to tell me to wear a mask and to tell me to leave for whatever reason she wants. Yep. And both of those things are not true, as we've just figured out.
Okay.
All right. So I don't know if you want to inform her of that. That's up to you. I would, so that way maybe she doesn't hit the panic button next time somebody comes by.
Okay.
But I'll do a quick walkthrough, 2 minutes, and we'll be out of here, and we'll be out of your hair. And
Okay,
adios.
sounds good.
All right. And I just want to seriously, you can laugh it off, take it however you want to take it. I want to thank you primarily for your professionalism and for upholding the law and upholding the Constitution of the United States, because especially with what's going on right now, guys, it's not a joke. That piece of paper separates us from the rest of the world, okay? And it's taken a beating lately. And rights are like muscles. If you don't exercise them, they go away. Okay? When I was a kid, many years ago, I went into a dentist's office, and he had a big poster up that was just a picture of a beautiful smile. And it said, ignore your teeth and they'll go away. I don't want my rights to go away. That's why I'm out here today. And I told you I'd tell you why after I saw how you handled it. That's all we're doing. It's
Okay.
an exercise of rights.
Okay.
Okay.
You're good.
Well, thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate you.
I'm gonna step in with you.
That's-
just in case she
Absolutely.
gets excited.
I wish you would. Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you, sir. So, do we want to let her know what the situation
Yes.
is? Or? Okay, sure, great. And I really do sincerely appreciate you upholding your oath of office. That's very important. We rely on you for that. And I'm glad to see the higher-ups are handling things that way, and hopefully it trickles down to your charges here.
I watched some of the videos on YouTube
Do you?
because I knew eventually it would.
Well, and you know what? There's a lot of guys just like in police work, just like in video work, just like in nursing, just like in any occupation, there are guys that do it right and do it properly with courtesy and respect, and then there are guys that go out there and look for problems. So you'll decide which one of those groups we fall into after we leave, if you haven't already. But we try to do things. I try to give back what I get. So if I'm given respect, I give respect back, and that's the way it should go. And we're just looking for answers and facts. And you have to agree with me, it is muddy waters, this whole thing, and it is a gray area, and a lot of people are very confused about what it is. So this is just something to help clarify, whatever small way we can help. That's all it's about. I think it's very important. Were you in the military?
I was.
You were, so you took 2 oaths.
20 years.
You swore a military oath and a law enforcement oath.
I did.
Yeah, and they're both critical. And
One's the Constitution of the United States, the other is the Constitution of the state of Wyoming.
right, yep, yeah. Both very well-written documents.
Okay. We don't carry out items, so I'll have somebody, I'll send it your way, okay? Thank you. Safeway does have it.
They do?
Yep.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem. If you have any trouble getting it there, just let me know, okay?
Okay.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Real quick, they came back in. There is no way to enforce that. The statute doesn't, it allows you to put a business off limit or restrictions on a business. It says nothing about mask wear.
That's.
And we showed him the sign that they're requesting it and asked him, he's just here, this is his finale right now, and then they're going to leave. So I thought to allow them to come back in for a couple minutes so we can get this straightened out, and then that would be the best for everybody. So you could go back and your clientele and you guys can focus on your job. I told them that it's a little stressful for them right now because they're a little bit overworked with all the positive cases because they have to do an extensive.
Oh, you should see the people in New York City.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. No, and I just seriously, if there cause you any discomfort, anything like that, I really want to apologize for that.
You caused my clients discomfort.
Well, they can speak for themselves. I'm just speaking to you. And if I caused you any discomfort, I want to apologize for that. But I just want to let you know that you were mistaken about asking us to leave and about the mask thing. So that's the purpose of our visit here today, is to clarify that. That's what we're doing.
Okay.
So hopefully you'll take the sergeant's word for it here, and that's where it's at. So I just don't want this to happen with somebody else. That's our point. We all have to abide by the law, whether or not we appreciate it or not. It is what it is. And above that is the Constitution of the United States, and that's extremely important. And we value it very much, and that's what we're out here doing, is exercising our rights. And that's all it is.
Thank you.
Okay? No, thank you very much. I appreciate you. So we're just going to take a look around for 1 minute, and just so I can leave of my own accord, and we'll leave, and we'll be out of here. You'll probably never see us again. Okay?
Is this
Thank
about
you.
mask wearing?
So there is some public information here, which is available.
So we have a Department of Health guide.
Is this about mask wearing?
I'm sorry?
Is this about mask wearing?
You can speak to the officers here. I'm not interested in engaging in a conversation. Thank you.
Is this about mask wearing?
Sure.
I have cancer, and I don't want to get COVID-19.
Well, then you should ask these gentlemen to put their masks on. You're standing 3 feet away from them having a conversation.
I'm in
Listen.
a health facility here,
Sir,
and I want to come get.
I
my
apologize for
food.
whatever situation you're going through, but you just walked 3 feet up to these guys that are not wearing masks, talking about how you wish I was wearing a mask. So let's keep it
No,
real.
I'm wishing everyone would be wearing a mask.
Yeah, I wish everyone would critically, I wish everyone could critically think. But yeah, that's why I don't want to engage with you. Thank you.
Well, I came here for public health service,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm in jeopardy. by-
Well, all right, I'm leaving, so you're no longer in jeopardy.
But I
Have a
can
wonderful
get
day.
myself-
Sir,
No, wait, I'm gonna get it from somebody.
do you want to let me leave? I'm leaving.
Sir? I was just wondering.
And I wish you the best with your health and your treatment and everything. I really do
Yeah.
sincerely hope it's successful for you.
Yeah, and I hope people wear masks, because I'm at risk. I have cancer.
Okay,
And I'm
well,
at risk.
I understand that.
And just like you wouldn't smoke and blow smoke in my face, would you?
Absolutely not.
Would you go outside and smoke?
I don't smoke.
But if you did, would you go outside?
I don't know what I would do if I did. I'm not sure. Listen, sir, I'm going to leave so you can go on with your day safely, and I want you to have a safe, wonderful day and
Smoke all you want,
enjoy.
live, but I want to live too.
Well, all right, guys. You could probably tell by the video here, I had to switch over to my phone. My battery died on my camera. And Officer Dad, thank you very much. We appreciate you. You know, I hope you don't feel like we came here exclusively to give you a hard time today, but I think something was resolved today.
Yeah,
And
no issue with what you just came to get.
I'm a very firm believer in having the conversation. I think if you're talking about it, you're doing something about it. And I think we came to a good place today. We all figured out what the rules are and what the deal is, and we'll just leave it at that and move forward with what we're all doing. And I thank you, gentlemen, for your courtesy and professionalism. And sir, I wish you the best, sincerely. Sarge, thank you very much. You have a wonderful day. All right, guys. At the end of the day, I think a lesson was learned here by all. And I think it was a fruitful conversation had with the sergeant. I'm glad the sergeant showed up. And I'm glad we were able to come to a resolution in the meeting of the minds and realize what was going on. And I appreciate Sergeant Schmidt for upholding his oath and honoring his oath and doing what he is supposed to do. So if anybody wants to contact the Douglas Police Department and just let them know that you appreciate Sergeant Schmidt setting things straight for his officers and for the people here at the Public Health Office, the information to contact them will be in the description. And that's it. So, lesson learned here in Douglas, Wyoming today. But that's it. So we're gonna hop in the truck. We're gonna head down the road, see what else. We have a couple of very good things planned for you. So stay tuned. Make sure you're subscribed. We always like to invite you to like, share, comment, subscribe. Does wonders for our channel, both of our channels, and doesn't cost you a penny. So we invite you to do that. I also invite you to do that for Watching the Watchman. His channel is doing fantastic, and he's got a lot of information in there, maps and info and zooms with his camera lens and his commentary. A lot of stuff you won't see in my video, so check him out. Link will be in the description for him as well. And that's it. So coming to you from Douglas, Wyoming, and I'm starving. I got to get something to eat. Watching the Watchman, Amagansett Press. We'll catch you on the next one, guys. Out.